So with the Eastern Cape part of the trip over with, we flew on down to H.A.R.T in the Greater Kruger area outside of Kruger National Park, the last leg of our journey.
Had a little meal in Joburg and kind of talked about what we're going to do. So it's on. We're going to get settled in and set up the baits for the leopard and hyena. So rested up. Hopefully our cameraman's rested up and in a little bit better shape, man.
Well, we grabbed our gear from the baggage claim and spirits were pretty high. And as we loaded up the pickup, we could only anticipate what this leg of the journey had in store for us. We were going to do leopard. We were going to try to do an elephant. But most of all, we were going to have fun and enjoy the opportunity that was presented to us.
Now, inside the Kruger National Park, one of the last in-holdings of private land. We're in the kitchen putting our stuff away. Come on. I'm gonna help H.A.R.T get all this stuff in here. Why don't you take a look around? But this is where the next 7 to 10 to 15, we're just gonna play by ear. And we're gonna hunt what we can hunt and just have a good time, talk to people, and we're gonna have a concert at the end. Oh yeah, singing.
You know, it's just a beautiful property with all the comforts of home and enough room to spread out, and each one of us had our own little chalet with our shower and bathroom, so we had it all set up. We had it made. Well, Gray wanted to do some full harvesting while he was in Africa, so he finally got the chance, as we needed a little bait for our hyena and leopard sets. And he made some good shots on a baboon and impala that we're going to make for good bait. And he got his full harvest. Little did I know that the leopard and hyenas had different plans for us on this bait set. But it was a good set, and we camouflaged it well from the buzzards, vultures, and set up a trail cam, so if we didn't see them, we would know about what time they were coming in at night and make some adjustments. Well, now it was time to set up the blind, and Gray and I let the professionals handle that, as they had done it before and knew exactly how they wanted it to be. But still didn't mean we couldn't have a little fun. And with the branches going on, the set was finally done. Now all we had to do was wait for darkness. Well, with the final branches set in place, our blind was set. So we hopped upon the buggy, hooked up to a chunk of rotten meat, and drugged the meat to put some scent down for the hyenas, the leopards, to follow into the bait site.
Baiting is done. We're back in camp. So, we're going to have some supper, which we're going to make ourselves tonight. I don't know what it is, but we're going to make it ourselves, because we're capable to cook for ourselves. I don't know what else we're going to do.
Well, I guess we hope we were capable of preparing our meal that evening.
Mike,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
we're putting cheese, goat cheese in oil. It sounds great, right? Goat cheese in oil, frying it. Had it last night at the restaurant. So we're going to try to do this. Well, not we. H.A.R.T's going to try to do this. We had the oil a little hot. Did I get that right, Bianca? Is that what you were telling them? The oil was too hot? Yeah. and he was trying to explode the thing. So.
Well, with a beautiful fire roaring, I really wasn't that worried about how the meal was going to turn out. But we were in capable hands with Heinrich. Not only is he a first-class PH, he's a first-class chef to boot. Well, the next morning it was time to check our bait site. We were pretty confident we'd have a hit on it, but that just wasn't the case.
Skunked. We had good fresh bait out there, and they said, I don't want this bait.
I know.
We were thinking the camera was broke, but
So we decided just to leave it alone and go hunt some other species. So we took off to a citrus grove where there might be some hippo, crocodile, and bushbuck waiting for us. Well, even though it's not a particularly hard hunt, it is a little bit of a dangerous hunt, and you have to be aware that hippos kill more people than most of the dangerous game out there. So we were very wary of the fact that we needed to make sure where they were at in the water, not on shore, and we were obviously going to keep our distance so we could be safe and the hippos could be safe. Well, after the hippo hunt, which was a success, we decided we were going to set another bait set and see if we just use an impala instead of the baboon and the impala, if that wouldn't bring something in. So Gray had another opportunity for a full harvest, and look at our PH, just giving it his all, becoming the human rest for Gray to steady his shot. Can't say enough about that guy, old A.H. So up goes another blind. And this time we put some thorn branches around so the hyenas don't come in and wreck our blind. I had to bring one over because they're kind of hard to find over in South Africa. So I brought one over, and we didn't want it to get destroyed right off the bat. So that's why we put those thorn trees around. So after a little rain shower, we headed back for a little dinner. And that's one thing about Africa. There's nothing little about dinner.
leopard was there. Dink. Counted.
So with good positive sign of a leopard being there, we knew we were going to sit that bait site that evening. So I was pretty excited because the leopard is the one heart shot that I really wanted. And that was the one that kind of started my interest in Africa and going over to Africa.
So I think we got a leopard coming into the bait. So that's a good start. And this blind we put up yesterday should be a good position. So I think if it doesn't rain, we might be able to sit in the blind. But if it does, we'll just wait out the rain and sit when the weather's better. But it's promising. No pictures on the trail cam though, but we don't care. A leopard's coming in, whether we got pictures or not.
So we entered the blind, and I was pretty nervous because Heinrich was pretty adamant about the fact that I couldn't move at all. And I had the gun propped up kind of on my leg and then up on the shooting sticks. But it was not comfortable, and it was kind of cramped in there, and it was a little warm. But we were planning on it getting a little cooler, so we were dressed for that because we could not move. So I was wondering, and I've heard stories about sitting in a leopard blind all night for 10 days straight to finally get a leopard, and I just didn't know if I could sit that still for that long. But we were going to do it because we had to do it. Well, Well, all my prayers were answered when 16 minutes into the set, a leopard shows up. And it was our trusty cameraman Morgan who saw it first and alerted us that indeed a leopard was coming into our bait. Now, I'm pretty sure that leopard knew we were sitting there because it kept looking straight at us, but I don't think it really cared. It just wanted a free tasty meal, seemed to me. So I knew we had some time after 2 or 3 times when it looked at us and didn't appear to be too frightened. Well, that experience was more than I had expected. And seeing the leopard run off and not having a full harvest didn't change anything from what that hunt was. You know, we baited, we set up, and it was just like the real thing. It was 100% the real thing, only there was no full harvest at the end. And that's a decision. That's a decision I made, and maybe it won't be somebody else's decision, but it was a decision nonetheless. And you know, everybody was excited. The adrenaline was running high for everybody because you just don't get to see these things. Well, as you can see, there's no shortage of other game in the Greater Kruger, from Cape Buffalo to rhinos. There's pretty much a opportunity to see a lot of game every day. So we pulled up to the first site, and we're kind of hopeful that we freshened it up. We would have some hyenas come in, and we'd get the H.A.R.T shot on the hyena this evening. Well, we moved camps in anticipation of our upcoming elephant hunt. We were going to be able to tag along on a full harvest hunt and then go ahead and do our H.A.R.T hunt. Now, I'm okay sleeping in a tent on the ground most times, but I wasn't going to argue staying in a 5-star place. Let's take a look. Now, this camp was surrounded by wild country as far as the eye could see, all part of the Greater Kruger area. Oh, and of course, there was plenty of food, and it was always good. Well, even though we were hunting elephant, we sure didn't pass up any opportunity to film and take pictures of all the animals that were around. You know, from Cape Buffalo to giraffe, water buck to impala, and a lot more in between. The place was just teeming with wildlife, all except the elephant.
Rhino. Negative on the elefante. Going round in circles, but
Right color.
yeah.
Just
Wrong
too
ears.
small.
The ears was too small, and I couldn't put a trunk on that one.
Well, later that afternoon, we finally got into them. Big old elephants. Now, these hunts are done for population control, so the elephants don't get too overpopulated. And as you can see, there's quite a few individuals involved to make sure it's done properly, ethically, and humanely. It's a necessary thing to remove a few elephants every once in a while. to keep balance within the system. And it also brings in revenue for future conservation and anti-poaching activities.
Made an excellent shot. Very humane harvest. Put one in him just to be sure, but first shot. It's textbook how it should go. These are highly regulated. You saw before all the paperwork. Calling in, make sure everything was right. This is, there's only 4 permits here. And these elephants are harvested to keep the numbers down, but they're done in the correct way. And I can't say enough about all the guys involved here to keep it just that way. Really ethical, really respectful, and with the hunt.
Well, in the morning it's my turn. Time to go heart hunt an elephant. So we put the trigger cam BSP on the 375 double and got everything prepared.
We're gonna go out for our H.A.R.T hunt elephant. You see here of elephant just down the way and in a mud hole, so we're gonna try it out. We've got the blanks, we got the 375, we got the trigger cam BSP hooked up to it, and that's what we're gonna use. Open sights, the BSP, we've got it dialed in, so let's go hunting.
Well, we quickly found the elephant. We drove on by quite a ways, got out, got our gear, and proceeded to stalk. Now we wanted to stay a pretty good distance away from the elephant, that way for our safety and the safety of the elephant. But as we rounded a bush, there he stood, probably 25 yards away, and made a great hard shot.
We perfected this blank. We had some 20 grains, some 40 grains. We backed it off to 15 grains, and you can see nothing comes out of it. It burns the powder completely, and it's just noise. So everything's safe. We're safe. The animal's safe. We get the experience of the hunt, and everybody walks away.
Well, with a successful elephant heart, we decided to just take the afternoon and drive around and look at the wildlife and the wonderful scenery. The weather was perfect. Heart and elephants, heart and leopards. It's unbelievable. And as the sun went down and the firelight rose, we just relaxed and reflected on a wonderful opportunity that was put forth before us. Well, the next morning we set off to hunt some bush buck and crocodile back in the citrus groves. And these were some dandy bush bucks.
The gun slipped down off the forks right as I pulled the trigger. I missed him.
So with the sun coming out, we decided to head out and go after the crocodile. We hoped to find him on the bank or sunning himself somewhere, and which we did, on a big old rock in the middle of the lake.
We got the crocodile. He sticks a little bit of wind with me. Got off. Heinrich put his shoulder there and I could rest a little bit. And just shot him right below.
on the spot. H.A.R.T shot, crocodile, big 7, dangerous 7. Completed it. It's pretty good. Good footage. Bailing off the rock. Yeah, we did it. Awesome.
Well, now it was time to redeem myself on the bush buck. I had missed a pretty dandy one in the morning, but I was determined to redeem myself when the opportunity arose.
Just the focus. It was all out of focus. Perfect. I screwed the first one up. The second one was too small. The third one almost screwed this one up because I didn't have the focus set, but we got it. Bush buck. We got the crocodile. Now what? Hyena tonight.
Well, we put Gray back up on the rifle for a little more fresh bait, and he didn't disappoint again. So, back into the blind, and hopefully tonight, the hyenas will come in.
We're setting up. It's about 6 o'clock. They're gonna go drag a little bit to get the scent, bring the hyenas in. We're gonna sit 2-3 hours because the wind's kind of wrong, so we don't want to. If the wind's wrong, they don't come in 3 hours. We don't want to mess this bait site up. So sit in here. Hopefully they'll come in. They've been coming in from this direction. We got some fresh bait, stinky bait. Blind that's been set up for about a week. I think we're in good shape. So I don't know. The wind's kind of calmed down now, so might be good. It's the last big one. Keep your fingers crossed. Well, we knew the wind was wrong, but I had to give it a try. But we didn't see anything. Listen, we could hear them in the distance, but they were on the trail of our bait trail, but the wind's just wrong. But we did have a leopard bedded down, laying down about 60 yards from us, just growling, calling. So we got a little bit of that on the camera. Hopefully we can get that and hear that, but that was pretty cool. But no hyenas tonight. Thought a leopard might come in. We still got to listen to a little bit of the sound of that.
Well, the next day we decided to put Gray back on the rifle. He wanted to full harvest a warthog, so we decided to drive around and see if we couldn't find one for him. But he also wanted to heart hunt a Cape buffalo, and that opportunity presented itself first, and he took it. Well, more fine-tuning to our bait site, where we decided to put a new blind up. Well, the blind we used for the leopard, the lucky blind, Mike's blind. We decided to put that one up in a different position on the bait. That way the wind would be correct for that evening. And so it entailed putting the blind up and putting more branches on it. Well, as I was getting set up, the boys did one final drag. And sure enough, they spotted a hyena in the distance.
So one hyena.
One hyena. Like 100 yards past the
On the road or in the bush?
in the bush on the side of the road. He was just on that side. She's running to the
They're going to come in early.
yeah.
You drag down from that side.
And come in early they did. You know, it's just super exciting to have a game plan, put in the time, put in the effort. and then have the hyena come into your set just like you had planned. And there's no better feeling of having a plan, seeing it come together, and making the hard shot.
Well, we've wrapped it up. Got the H.A.R.T shot last night, so we're just cleaning things up. The blind over here to take down, the blind over here. We're dropping our baits. And then I think Grable wants to go full harvest warthog, so it's gonna be exciting.
Well, we tried, but we didn't find anything for Gray to full harvest that afternoon. But let me tell you, what an opportunity to come experience Africa and hang out with these guys and see what we've seen, all the animals, all the places, and have fun with all the people. You know, Africa's a special place, and it lacked for nothing, and we wanted for nothing, and it was just an amazing, amazing experience. From start to finish, like clockwork, we heart hunted all over South Africa.
Well, we're headed home. What a safari it's been. 29 species, 39 animals hearted all over South Africa from the Eastern Cape to the Kalahari. Now, if you'd like to come join us on a heart hunt here in South Africa, check us out on hearthunts.com. We've got all the packages there. If you don't see what you like, give me a call or give me an email, info@hearthunts.com, and we'll try to put a package together for you. Also, go over to bigheartadventures.com and you'll see all the footage from this hunt, provided to us by African Safari Films and our buddy Morgan behind the camera. Now, if you come on a hunt with us, you're going to want to video these things too. So, get in contact with him. He's a great guy. We'll help you all fun with him, and he'll get all the footage for you. Put together a nice package for your hunt, and you'll have a great memory of your hunt. But we're going to get the heck out of here. We've got a lot of flights and a lot of time to go home, so it's your turn to heart the hunt.